I am in Psalms in my daily Bible reading. I suppose the best way to meditate on these songs is to take in the entire message as we would if we discussed a hymn from our songbook. But this morning I want to slow down and reflect on just one line from one psalm. Psalm 94. This psalm praises God for not forsaking his people. That alone is reason to sing. But then, tucked in the middle of this song, the psalmist asks a piercing question. Can wicked rulers be allied with you, those who frame injustice by statute? Psalm. That phrase, frame injustice by statute, ought to stop us cold. The psalmist isn't talking about private sin or even corrupt leadership behind closed doors. He's naming something more sinister, when injustice isn't just tolerated but codified, when evil becomes law. And that's not just a political problem, it's a spiritual rebellion. It's one thing for judges to turn a blind eye, taking bribes, releasing the guilty, punishing the innocent. It's one thing for leaders to exempt themselves from the justice they demand from others. Those are symptoms of decay. But when a society crosses the line into legalizing evil, when unrighteousness is written into its statutes and paraded as progress, we've moved beyond decay. We've stepped into defiance. Isaiah, the 8th century BCE prophet, spoke this way many centuries before the exile. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Isaiah 5:20 ESV. That's what Psalm 94 is describing. Not just moral confusion, but deliberate inversion. A culture so far gone, it no longer even bothers to dress up sin as virtue. It just calls it good and dares God to disagree. And yet, Psalm 94 isn't a despairing song. It's a hopeful one. Because while people may forget what justice looks like, God never does. He sees, he knows, and he defends those who suffer under injustice. That's what makes the psalmist's closing so powerful. But the Lord has become my stronghold, and my God the rock of my refuge. He will bring back on them their iniquity and wipe them out for their wickedness. The Lord our God will wipe them out. Psalm 94:22-23 ESV. The psalmist isn't naive. He sees the corruption, but he's not shaken, because he knows where justice lives. He knows who holds power. He knows who really writes the final word. We live in a time when verse 20 feels increasingly relevant. So here's the question. What does it mean for us to resist this inversion of good and evil? How do we stay rooted in truth without growing bitter or afraid? Maybe the answer is in the psalm itself. We remember who our stronghold is. We speak truth plainly and humbly. We protect what is right, even when it's costly. And we rest in the justice of a God who sees, who knows, and who always, always sets things right. What part of this psalm speaks to you today? Where do you see injustice being framed? And how is God calling us to respond?